Well, it's been a bad week for the vulva.
Oh, indeed. The poor vulva's taking a beating.
Can't get out there for a moment. A little bit of sunshine.
We've got to come from it. We got to give babies. We got to entertain men in it, and we can't show it.
So this week, an artist in London had her painting removed from a prominent gallery because it was a picture of a woman standing up and her jeans were open.
But you couldn't see anything.
All you saw was a little pubic hair, but they said that it was obscene and disgusting and took it down.
Because it wasn't for the male gaze.
Yeah, she wasn't looking cute.
Or like...
It was just like, here I am, open. And that's what the artist said was the inspiration behind it. That how do we look and how is our sexuality when not looked at by a man?
Yeah, she's just looking in the mirror at herself. Maybe.
Or maybe, yeah, probably. Just standing there
she
looking at
was
herself.
not being glamorous and she was not being
sexy.
Cute or sexy, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And then another artist, a Japanese woman, she did 3D modeling of her vulva and then used that shape to make it into a kayak and a couple other things. It was actually very clever. She emailed the 3D modeling data and was arrested for the distribution of pornographically obscene materials.
This is in Japan.
In Japan! I mean, the kinkiest place in the world.
Now remember, yeah, it was. Not now, because once...
But with anime?
Honey.
I mean...
Oh, the cartoon. That's a drawing. That's a cartoon.
This wasn't even a photographic image of her vulva. It was the modeling data.
You won't see the vulva in anime either. Trust me. And if there's any kind of... They crosshatch all pubic hair out.
Well, if you go to any museum, it's a total sausage fest. It's like they're everywhere on every statue, on every, a plate. It's all the early prehistoric art.
Dick and balls. Dick and...
And then the woman just gets a little triangle. There's nothing there.
No, we don't.
No hair.
We don't even get the outer lip form.
What is this about, Betty?
Okay. Ha ha ha, I'm so glad you asked. So glad you asked. Obviously, the censorship of the vulva is to keep it out of our control. If womankind control their own genitals and their own birthing, which is actually beginning to happen.
And their own orgasms.
Oh, ho, ho. That's what we're working on. Mankind has to shift a whole lot of gears. And that's that marvelous article that we had up in the website.
About how birth control changed the social contract between men and women.
Totally different. We're no longer barefooted in the kitchen. We can have our babies.
When we want, how we want. When we're ready.
And continue in the marketplace.
So is the repression of the vulva about keeping women down, controlling women?
Of course, yes.
It's so basic, it seems silly.
Well, here's what I mean. When I first started my work back in the 60s,
and we're still cracking. We're still at it.
How can I keep doing this?
Because we're not going to finish until we can plant the motherfucking vulva flag in humanity. We have to see real images of genitals. A vulva flag.
I'm going to make a vulva flag. And we will, the next gay march, we will march with the vulva flag.
Why is it obscene? There's automatically, it's a vulva, it's obscene. And that's not true. You can say penis on television and not get censored, but if you say clitoris or vulva, they censor you.
As long as mankind controls the vulva, they controlled women. And that's the whole fear that's happening now. We're breaking loose. It's like when I first started showing the vulva slides. I showed those out in Wichita University.
In the 70s?
Back in the 70s. I can't imagine. I think back and I go, oh, Betty. Then I realized that the photographic images were so upsetting that I then drew them for the book, because the book, the publisher would not publish.
Yeah, photographs trigger.
No, but I could do a drawing. Okay.
But here we are. Here's a Japanese artist that creates a model from data, not photographic. Here's another artist that paints a vulva on a woman, not a photograph, and it's still obscene.
Yeah, well, they're getting scared. More frightened by the day.
It does seem like they're closing their hands around it. It's like the cat's out of the bag. What are you talking about?
Well, I don't know. I mean, we know, the men we know are different. They're more open-minded.
They want a woman who has ownership of her vulva.
Yes.
Who knows how to give herself an orgasm.
Oh, they want good sex.
Yeah, exactly. They go hand in hand.
They want good sex. And and then the others will catch up. But I mean, just watch the Senate. Those Republicans. They're personification.
They don't want to pay for birth control. Health insurance won't cover it.
Right.
87% of U.S. counties don't have a clinic. They're just piece by piece doing whatever they can.
And they'll make some comment about female sexuality that is way over the top, that has nothing to do with our bodies, that shows how ignorant they are of a woman's sexuality. You can say vagina because that's where men want to put their penis, and that's where the baby comes out of. That's okay. But if you say clitoris
Or a vulva.
or vulva,
That's our pleasure. That's our power.
they're terrifying.
That's our independence.
That's not what this culture is geared for. This culture is not geared for female independence or even equality. I mean, equality. This is America. So come on, boys. We're rooting for you. Get your act together and tell us that you're coming along with us, okay? Come along.